Okay, this video is to follow on from the previous video, which was showing you the development of the true shape of the cut surface. Now in this instance here, we're still using the same size hexagonal prism, so it is 30 millimeter each side, okay, for the plan, and it is 90 millimeters height. The position, if you want to position it on your sheet, is the same as the last time, so it is 220 millimeters from the top of the sheet to the top of the plan, and in 150 millimeters from the left hand side to this point here on the plan. So down 220, in 150 from the left hand side to this point here on the plan. Each side is 30 millimeters. Okay, the elevation is situated, the XY line is situated 20 millimeters above the plan. Okay, and the height of the elevation is 90 millimeters. 90 millimeters. Now, the cut is imposed on the elevation at 45 degrees from the top left-hand corner. Okay, now, in the previous video, I showed that the cut was imposed at 45 degrees from the right hand side, and we had the end view showing the cut on the right hand side. In this instance, because I want to develop the sides now, in this video I want to develop the sides of the cut prism, hexagonal prism, so I'm leaving this side open, so I put the cut on the other side, so it's from the top left hand corner down at 45 degrees, and the cut is shown on this end view here on the left hand side, because you're looking in from the right hand side and you see the cut on the left hand side end view. So to move on then from there to develop the sides. To develop the sides of the hexagonal prism, what we're simply going to do is we're going to bring the points across. Bring the points across. So I'm going to bring the top point, okay, the bottom point, and then the points of the cut. Now I'm going to have a starting position for my development of the sides. So I'm just going to again move away 20 millimeters for the development here. Now I could actually, what would be better and would signify development of the actual elevation, I could keep it to this bottom line here. So actually ignore that last point. I'm going to start it from this point here. So in order to develop the sides, what I have to simply do is get the distance again of one of the sides of the hexagon, which is 30 millimeters. Okay, I step that off because a hexagon has 6 sides. I step that off for the development of the sides. I step that off 6 times. I could also measure out 30 millimeter intervals 6 times along the XY line. So this is number 6 here. Now, what I'm going to do now is extend those lines up vertically. Make sure your T-square is tied in against the board and keep your lines vertical and parallel. Now, before I proceed, I'm going to just label the different views here. So we have the elevation, we have the plan, and we have the end view. I'm also going to index the points of the cut. So I'm going to have this here as point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then this on the elevation will become point 1. This will become point 2 and 6. This will become point 3 and 5, and this will be point 4. So again, if I index the points here on the end view, I have point 1. Now if I'm looking in this way, I have point 6 on this side and point 2 here. Then I have point 5, point 3, and point 4. So I have established now the outlay of what would be here a development of the full hexagonal prism. Now I've got it in pencil lines here, so I haven't inked it in. So I'm simply going to now show you the cut. Now if I just draw it in just as a full development, so if I draw it in as a full development, I can indicate it here as a black line. So I'm going to just again I'll draw this in here as a full development. Okay, here across 1, now I'm going to indicate where each of those sides fold as a broken line. Now, that shows you a full development of the sides of the pre-cut hexagonal prism before it was cut. Now, to show you then what it looks like to impose the cut on those sides, again I'm going to use a red pen here. So that's point 1. Point 1 stays the same. Point 1 goes to point 2. So this is where point 2 is. I can index this as well. So I'll index this here as point 2. Then point 2 goes to point 3. Point 3 is here. Point 3 goes to point 4. Point 4 to point 5. Point 5 to point 6. And point 6 again back to point 1. Okay, now if I again connect those points, so point 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, and 6 to 1. Now, I could probably index those a little bit better, keeping them off the line. Okay, but it's showing you how this cut imposes itself on the hexagonal prism. So again, if I was to shade in the area that is the particular shape of the development here of the sides, if I shade it in here in a bit of with a charcoal pencil, now, and just for clarity's sake, just so you know where those points are coming from, I'm going to bring across the points, how I've established those points from the cut itself. So, point 1, brought right across here, point 2, and point 6. Points 3 and 5, and point 4 is already there. Okay, so this here now is the development of cut sides of cut hexagonal prism. Now, I can also very quickly show you another way. Obviously, just we did this in the last video, but a very simple way again of developing the cut surface itself here. So instead of basically doing what we did the last time, and I showed you 3 different ways of getting this cut surface the last time, I'm going to simply, using the point 4 as a swivel point, I'm going to pull it up onto the vertical and bring the points across to the side view. So it's just another way of doing it. So I'm going to do it very quickly. So I'll bring my points up. Points 3. Okay. And now I'm going to use my compass. So using point 4 as a swivel point, I'm going to swing these points up. So that's point 1. And now points 2 and 6. And points 3 and 5. Now, I'm just going to indicate those again in green. I have pulled my points using point 4 as a swivel. I've pulled point 1, 2, 6, 3, 5 around to the vertical. So again, just to show you this here. So that's the vertical, and I'm bringing those points across. And I also have the points brought up. From the end view. So I have the grid now in which I can contain the true shape of the cut surface. So I'll indicate it again in red. So point 4 stays the same. But because it's swiveling up, you can see point 3 and 5 is going to be on this side here. So that's going to be point 3, and that's going to be point 5. And then points 2 and 6. So this is going to be point 2. This is going to be point 6. And the last point here, which is going up to the top, that's point 1. Okay, so just fill these points in. So if I simply connect those points again, so 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, and then 6 back to 1. And again, if I shade that in, using brown here, so this now gives me the true shape of cut surface. Okay, so I've shown you in this video how now to develop the sides of the cut surface of the hexagonal prism, okay, on the right hand side here. And again, another method, very simple, just an alternative way of doing the true shape of the cut surface. Okay, I hope you found that video useful.